Senator John McCain spent 5.5 years as a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War. In the early years of his imprisonment, the North Vietnamese Army kept Senator McCain and other prisoners in either solitary confinement or in 2 to 3 to a cell. In 1971, the North Vietnamese Army moved the men from these conditions of isolation into large rooms with as many as 30 to 40 men to a room. This was, as you can imagine, a wonderful change and was a direct result of the efforts of millions of Americans on behalf of a few hundred prisoners of war 10,000 miles from home. Among the men who moved into Senator McCain's room was a young man named Mike Christian. Mike came from a small town near Selma, Alabama. He didn't wear a pair of shoes until he was 13 years old. At 17, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy. He later earned a commission by going to officer training school. Then, he became a naval flight officer and was shot down and captured in 1967. Mike had a keen and deep appreciation for the opportunities this country and our military provide for people who want to work and want to succeed. As part of the change in treatment, the Vietnamese allowed some prisoners to receive packages from home. In some of these packages were handkerchiefs, scarves, and other items of clothing. Mike got himself a bamboo needle, and over a period of a couple of months, he created an American flag and sewed it on the inside of his shirt. Every afternoon, before the prisoners of war had a bowl of soup, they would hang Mike's shirt on the wall of the cell and say the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance may not seem like the most important part of the day now, but in that cell, it was indeed the most important and meaningful event. One day, the Vietnamese searched the cell, as they did periodically, and discovered Mike's shirt with the flag sewn inside and removed it. That evening, they returned, opened the door of the cell, and for the benefit of all the prisoners, they beat Mike Christian severely for a couple of hours. His fellow soldiers cleaned him up as well as they could. The cell in which they lived had a concrete slab in the middle in which they slept. A naked light bulb hung in each corner. After the excitement died down, Senator McCain looked into the corner of the room, and sitting there beneath that dim light bulb was Mike Christian and his bamboo needle, making another American flag. He was not making that flag because it made Mike Christian feel better. He was making that flag because he knew how important it was to the captured soldiers to be able to pledge their allegiance to their flag and their country. So next time you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you must never forget the sacrifices that thousands of Americans have made and the courage they have shown to build our nation and promote freedom around the world. You must remember our duty, our honor, and our country.